रखिए अपना go to pink.
And do we have Amitabh is online with?
No copy.
Okay, start the session. So good afternoon, friends. My name is Devesh and representing Dook International Day. Today we have come up to give you a brief idea, some in-depth information about Kazakhstan and few of its most popular cities. Uh, Along with popular, I would also like to add the word unexplored. Why? Because not a lot of people are aware about cities, and not a lot of people know how tourism is operated in these cities. So the main purpose during the current situation is to let people know, let our partners, our travel agents know that how easily they can connect to these countries. And before starting the session, I would like to ask all of you that you're keeping well, and I'm sure that you're taking care of yourself with your family in this problematic situation, this pandemic situation. And we are all praying in our mind that this whole situation should go away as soon as it can. And let us give you an idea about our company as well for people who have joined us for the first time today. We are Dook International. Uh, the head office is based in New Delhi, and we have multiple branches, multiple offices all across CIS sector. We are also based in Mumbai as well in India. Our company is almost about more than 10 years old, and the entire industry knows us as a DNC of CIS sector. Now, CIS is is referred to Commonwealth of Independent States. Now there are about 11 countries which were separated from USSR, the former Russia, in 1991. And the countries included Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Armenia, Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Tashkent, Turkmenistan. Then we have Bulgaria, Serbia, Belarus, and Moldova. Now, all these countries, they became republic in 1991. Now, Dook focused on these countries because these countries had so much of potential for tourists. They had so much to offer, be in terms of history, be in terms of adventure, be in terms of hospitality, modern facilities. Everything is available in these countries. So we took the responsibility, our directors, Mr. Gopal Kapoor and Mr. Sandeep Kumar Gupta. We took the ownership, and under their guidance, the entire team is dedicated towards promoting these countries in India. Of course, we also look after Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lankan market as well. So this was a brief idea about our company. Now, let us understand the sector which we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Kazakhstan. Now, we have a special guest joining in today from Kazakhstan, Mr. Arkibullah Nesebbe. Mr. Arkibullah Nesebbe, we welcome you to the session.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Great. Welcome to the session, Arkibullah. And we're talking about Kazakhstan today, and we understand that, with the growing demand of tourists, travel agents have very little to offer when you talk about budgeted packages, when you talk about different packages, when you talk about some countries which can offer you something different, with a hint of surprise in it. So Kazakhstan is one country which can actually offer you everything with a lot of surprises. Let us start with some basics of Kazakhstan. This country, which we are talking about, Kazakhstan, is based, in the center of Central Asian subcontinent. bordering with China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Now, these are the main countries which share the border with Kazakhstan. However, being a landlocked country, Kazakhstan also has a sea line with Caspian Sea. Aktau is the city name, and this is the city which is connecting the port to Caspian Sea. However, we cannot call it a country with the beaches because it's primarily a landlocked country. Main languages spoken in the country are Kazakh, Russian, Uzbek, and Ukrainian. However, their official languages are Kazakh and, of course, Russian as well. With 18 million of population, the country still holds Islam as their official religion. However, you find a lot of Christian population living in Kazakhstan, the entire country. The capital of the country is Astana, which name has been changed to Nur Sultan now. Nur Sultan is the capital, and the business capital, of course, remains Almaty city. Now, why Almaty? Because Almaty is the most popular city and one of the oldest cities of Kazakhstan, and it is actually the tourist paradise. 80% of the tourism happening to Kazakhstan, they prefer to go to Almaty as a city. But we're not going to talk about Almaty today in detail because we discussed about Almaty in our previous presentation. Today, we are going to talk about an unexplored city, a city which is, totally been away from the records. People are not aware about its existence. But, however, we, as a company which likes to explore unexplored things, we explored the city and we're going to talk about the city in detail. The city is called Shymkent. Now, Shymkent is one city which is not, I would say, near to Almaty city with the best connectivity. And it's a city which offers the best combination of history, culture, and the modern lifestyle. Everything what a tourist looks for. Now, Arkibulan has joined us from Kazakhstan. Arkibulan, can you give us an idea about the culture of Shymkent city? What kind of culture they have and what kind of life they follow in Shymkent city?
So again, good afternoon. Shymkent is now it's a growing city, and this time it's the third biggest city in the Kazakhstan. By the investment, it's at the first place because of government is investing so many things, so many power and money to grow this city. The city is located on the south part of the Kazakhstan, and it's around of 800 kilometers by road from Almaty. Population is more than 1 million, and it's very close by to the Uzbekistan border. It's almost only 40 kilometers to Uzbek border and 90 kilometers to the Tashkent. So that's why the main population, of course, is Kazakh people, but around 30% is people from Uzbekistan who works officially and who has that Kazakhstan that passport almost.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to give the idea of the visa process to our partners. So we're talking about Kazakhstan as a country, so you don't need different kind of visas when you travel to different cities in one country. The same visa which you apply for Kazakhstan, and the process is very simple when you talk about the visa process. We only require your passport scan copies. We need your letter of course, the visa is based on invitation. So an invitation is applied through Kazakhstan to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and based on your invitation, you can apply online visa. Your visa can be withdrawn online nowadays, and it takes about 8 to 10 working days for the invitation. And once your invitation is available, you can simply withdraw your online visa. And the charges and the fee of visa can be checked with our company. The fee may vary because the currency is fluctuating. So the price of visa may vary with the changing time. We're also going to talk about the connectivity, how you can connect to Kazakhstan as a country. So, you know, the best thing about this country is that we have the best connectivity when you talk about NDIS country. We have a direct flight in place with Astana. Air Astana is connecting from Almaty. Air Astana is connecting from Astana, which is capital Nur Sultan, to Delhi. And as before the lockdown happened, we used to have 14 flights in a week. Two flights every day used to connect from Delhi to Almaty city. The flight duration is about 3.5 hours, and it's a full-fledged carrier. You have business class, you have meals, you have drinks in the flight, and 23 kg luggage, one-piece luggage, and a lot of other facilities which Air Astana is offering. For people having miles, they get benefit with Air Astana. And this is one airlines which also connects internally from Almaty to Shymkent as well, and from Shymkent to Almaty, and within different cities as well. If you're connecting from Almaty to Nur Sultan, which is capital, so you can choose Astana and make a connection, and it's going to be very easy to connect to every city within Kazakhstan. Okay, there seems to be a lag in the network. So I'm going to talk about using how to use the land route from Shymkent to Almaty and from Almaty to Shymkent. Arkibulan, if you're there with us, can you hear me, Arkibulan?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you give us an idea, how's the journey from Almaty to Shymkent, and what are the challenges which you face when you're driving from Almaty to Shymkent? I'm sure if you see on your screen, it says about 686 kilometers, and the entire journey is actually parallel to the borders of Kyrgyzstan. You know, you're running very close to Kyrgyzstan nation, and you're going directly to Shymkent from Almaty to Shymkent. So what are the challenges which you face, and what are the facilities which are available in the journey?
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, it's approximately 700 kilometers from the Almaty city, but to drive to Shymkent. And if you know from the from the last 5 years, here is a good high-speed road from Almaty to Urals, and it's cover all of the south part of the Kazakhstan. The legal speed in that high-speed road is 140 kilometers, and it's a 4-lane road in all of the lane. And it's one of the safest and most fastest high-speed roads in Kazakhstan. Government is invested almost $2 billion to build that road, and it was built by the foreign companies with all of the quality things and the materials.
Mm-hmm. So tell me one thing. Let's say somebody is reaching Almaty by flight, and they want to do a self-drive. So is it possible if they can hire a car by themselves, and they can just take their car and drive from Almaty to Shymkent by their own?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you say, is it possible if somebody can hire a car from Almaty and they can drive from Almaty to Shymkent?
Yes, actually it's possible. The first thing is what they have to do is they have to take the permission of the international driving license in India. With those license only, they can take for that car, and they can easily manage the driving with from Almaty to Shymkent. Also, if they want, we can also easily send our driver with them to help them and to manage that journey.
What kind of landscape you see? I mean, you see a lot of mountains when you're driving from Almaty to Shymkent, or what kind of cities or villages you have where you can stop? Some interesting places in between the journey.
So, introduction places. The first place will be that in 200 kilometers, you will reach the Kyrgyz border. You will not enter to that border, but from the side, just you will cover around 100 kilometers by the Kyrgyz border. And on the way, you will see that.
So somewhere over here near Bishkek, you're talking about.
Yes, that you will just cover the Bishkek from the side, and you will see that the mountains of Bishkek. And in 400 kilometers, there will be one of the biggest cities also in Kazakhstan, Taraz. Taraz, if you know, it's the most oldest city in Kazakhstan, and they have also many places and sightseeing to cover. You can also, of course, cover that in one day. Like there are like Aisha Bibi Museum in Taraz. If you know, it's the same story like Taj Mahal, like the love story. That museum was built in the 13th century, and there are also museum of that steam bus, one of the oldest steam bus in Kazakhstan, with the original all of the original items. And from the last year, government also invested money to the Taraz tourism, and they built some of the like copies of that like Khoja Ahmed Yassouи museum, like in a museum type. And they have special also that walking street with that historical monuments and items.
How about some restaurants about fooding and lodging? If somebody likes to eat in between, what kind of food is available? What kind of restaurants are available on the way? And how about the public toilets? Are they easily available if somebody wants to take a in between?
Yes, of course it's available because of its the modern high-speed road and all of the facilities like a toilet, stops for the car, and some rest places. It's available, and it was also planned. And because of its high-speed road, like in Taraz, you will cover in 4 hours, and you can also have food over there. In Taraz city, even Indian restaurant is available.
Okay, great. Now, I also see, if you see on your screen as well, dear partners, we have multiple flight options available to connect from Almaty to Shymkent. We have Air Astana, we have Kazakh Air, we have Scat Airlines, we have Fly Arestan. And if you see on your screen, the schedule is tremendous. So almost, 4 to 5 flights on a daily basis on every schedule you have available. And you will be surprised the kind of price which is available. It's very cheap. You may get a ticket cost as low as $45 to $60 based on the availability. I'm going to also talk about the train connectivity. We have train starting from Almaty to Shymkent. Arkibulan, can you explain the train journey? What is the experience, and what kind of facilities, what kind of trains we have from Almaty to Shymkent?
So there are many options of the trains. Suppose some of the trains with the stops, they will do stops in each city. Some of the trains without stop, and also we have like a fast train. The fastest train will reach to Shymkent in around of 13-15 hours. It's a new train, like with the services in airplane, with the food and everything. They have even like luxury trains, like in India.
So like people can have their own cabin. Like if there is a family of 4 or 5, they can hire this cabin for themselves.
Yes. There are cabins for the 2-person, 3-person with the bathroom, with shower and everything.
That is perfect. So it's more like a living room
Yes.
You know, if they're, I think traveling by train is very comfortable. They can enjoy the landscape as well, and all the services are in front of them. And if they want, if it's an overnight journey, they can have a sound sleep as well. They can sleep easily in the train.
Yes, yes.
This is
And you know,
perfect.
also it's comfortable because of train starts from the evening, like in 6 p.m., 5 p.m. From Almaty, and you will reach Shymkent by 8, 9 a.m. in the morning. Like in just you'll spend the night at the train without wasting your time.
Okay, okay. And people can actually have their own enjoyment and sort of party within the train if they would like to make. That can
Yes,
also be
of
done.
course, they have the charger, like everything is available.
Everything is available. Great. Now let us talk about Shymkent city. You know,
Yeah.
we have talked about the train connectivity, the flight connectivity, the road connectivity. We're going to talk about Shymkent city and the major sightseeing which we see when we enter Shymkent city. I'm going to start talking about the first thing, which is the main attraction of every city in CI sector, and that will be the Independence Square. The moment you enter Shymkent city, I think it's the first thing which you have to see is the Independence Square.
Yes, actually, that like that Independence Square is almost available in all of the post-Soviet Union countries, in all of the cities, like that Independence Square. And the unique of that Independence Square in Shymkent, it's also like connected with another park, and the total, it's like it will be like a huge like area with their own lake, with the Dendro Park, with the like a theme park, and that Independence Square, Independence Park, with that same monument for that Second World War.
Tell me, Arkibulan, how Shymkent city is different from Almaty and different in good terms. Like, what is better in Shymkent as comparing to Almaty?
So the better point is like you will enjoy the food experience because of everything is organic in Shymkent. Like even they meat and our meat, it will be different, and it's a different taste. And the second thing, in Shymkent, you will find like all of the activities from historical part till the night part. Because of, if you know, it's a bit far located from the Mongolia, and many of the architectural things which was built till 12th century, all of them was saved, and now it's available to see. Like in Shymkent, you will not find just city and just mountains. You will also see the something more, like that museums, historical museums. Even
we're gonna talk about it now. So this is Independence Square, where you actually see culture of the city, where locals gather in the evening, and even families come over. Kids can have their small fun area. Let's move on to the next thing, which is more of related to their war and glory. I see a war memorial as well. Is this part of the tour itinerary?
Yes, it's also part of the tour itinerary, because of always we are introducing that our guests that like which was done in that Second World War time, and showing that all of that that army items like that, because of it's our respect for that our elder fathers.
Tell me one thing, Arkibulan. Is it allowed to, for tourists to click pictures in these war memorial areas? Are there any restrictions?
Yes, it's allowed. Just the thing is, only you should not like go just very close and like damage something. That's it. Actually, that tourism in Shymkent, that people are very friendly to the tourists, and all of them trying to help, trying to save also, and they will not be issue for the tourists.
That is great. That is great. Now, another thing which we have in Shymkent we talk about is our museums. You know, after you look at the war memorials, after you look at the Independence Square, I see some museums which are there. Talk about the museums. We see a museum of political operation. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, that Political Operations Museum, it's a museum for the people who spent that time at the Shymkent area. If you know, from the Soviet Union place, like from the far places, from Moscow, from Petersburg, many of the writers, scientists
Here,
went
Mauritius,
to that Shymkent uh, to that prison. Actually, it's just typical prison, just for that like elite people, like for the writers.
There
And
is a
also
regional
many
museum as well, a regional museum of southern Kazakhstan.
Yeah, the regional museum, it's like a place where was collected all of the like historical items which was found from the museums and from the like archaeological places in that region. And you will find many items from the 12th, 13th centuries, from the gold, from the different type of the stones that they like their worship items, like just you
So basically, all
imagine,
the it's more like an archaeological artifacts collection area where
yes, yes,
you have the old age artifacts collected here. And
yes,
is there
right.
are there any timings to visit these places? Are they open in weekends like Saturdays and Sundays? Are they open?
Yes, of course, that Saturday, Sunday is the main time, and like all of them was mostly will be open till 6 p.m. and
Okay.
from 9 a.m. And weekends
Oh,
also it's open. Just in weekends there will be a bit more tourists,
okay.
local
Now,
tourists as well.
when you enter a museum, do you have to hire a guide assigned by the museum, or you know people can carry their own local guide if they want?
So it's actually depend on the tourist, like in how is their interest. Like in if they want to spend more time in the museum, more than 3 hours, of course we should hire that local guide because they have, of course, huge uh, information about the museum. But our guides also has that enough information to explain them and to show them everything in proper way.
Now, this is a different kind of museum altogether. I won't call it a museum, it's a mosque. It's a central mosque in Shymkent. And
Yes.
as per the information, this is recently built. But it is one of the most popular tourist attraction, which I have checked online.
Yes.
What is so special about this mosque?
So the most popular thing in that mosque because of it's not like a typical Kazakh style building. It was built for the foreign investment for the money of that UAE and Turkey. And if you see the pictures, the mosque just look like the mosque in that in Arab countries
Arab.
because of it was invested by them. And this time it's the biggest mosque in Shymkent.
This is the biggest mosque in Shymkent. Wow. Okay, that's great. This is another monument. Is he kind of a warrior or a saint? Can you tell us about him?
So that's a monument for the one of the richest guys in the Shymkent area for the B2B Ata. And also you will find this monument on at the entrance of the Shymkent if you'll drive from Almaty.
Okay.
And it's located near to the Dendro Park and the zoo, and all of those things you will cover at the same time.
Okay, and it's open for public, and till what time in the evening are these things open?
So that parks are open. It's just open area. It's very popular for the local people. Like when people do the wedding or just they want to rest, all of them goes to this area. They can also hire the boat at that place and spend their time in that way.
Now, I'm going to talk about few things which are a little away from the city, but they are the must sightseeing to do. So, just like when you reach Almaty, you have to go to Shymkent ski resort, which is a must visit place. I've checked online and I've found beautiful ratings, almost 5-star rating for this resort. This is the Tau Samal ski resort, and which is about 45 kilometers away. Tell me the real experience of this place. I'm sure you must have been there. So what is the real experience of being to this resort?
So the main experience, it's also new ski resort. They have that cable car ride as well. This time it's only one line, but very long line. Like in Portugal, you will reach the point maybe in 20-25 minutes minimum. That ski resort, Tau Samale, it's actually for the beginners. Their track is very light and very safe. For our tourists, it's the best option because of they can try that ski experience. And then one of the point also, it's one of the most cheapest ski resorts in CIS. That's why from the Russia, from Kyrgyzstan and Georgia, many people goes to that area. Not only skiing, also that hotel and other things also in low cost.
Okay, which is great.
And,
now,
yeah. And so, it's a big area, the Tau Samal.
Okay.
They have their own hotel, restaurant, and resort as well.
So when Indian tourists are going there, so is it okay if some of our tourists would like to stay there in the resort? Let's say for a night, they would like to stay and experience things by themselves. And in spite of staying in the city, they can stay near the resort.
I can say you just they must to stay in that area. It's not only a resort; it's a big area, huge area. Like in I think almost like a 700 person can accommodate in that area, and they have like 5 floors hotel. They have outside the cottages, and like 3-4 type of the restaurants. And the good thing, it's not only a place to go at the winter time. You can also go to there at the summer time because they have very big that pool places where you can arrange the pool party, boat
really?
fishing available. You can also go there by the horse riding.
So what you're saying, if you come in summers, it's not just that if you're missing ski, then you can do a lot of other activities like fishing, boat ride, swimming pool is there, which is, I think a swimming pool on the mountains.
Swimming pool at the down place, just next to at the hotel area, and it's really good and big swimming pool.
Okay, that's really attractive. Okay, we're gonna talk about a village or a city, and this is something which has been rated really high on Google. I see this village Sairam, which is about 10 kilometers from Shymkent, and most of the people who are going for pilgrim tours, religious tours, they have actually ranked this place as really high. Can you tell us about this place?
So that place, which calls Sairam, it's one of the village near to the Shymkent, and they have that museum in Sairam. But this kind of place you will find around 150, which is in second category, that historical places, and 28, which is in top category. Around of Shymkent, you will find that 28 like that places, like museum, like that old city, like Otrar or Sauran, which is safe to chill, and many like the religious things you will find where the people goes to pray from another countries as well.
I see this minaret, or you call it a mausoleum, I'm not sure. This is a part of Sairam village.
Yes, It's a museum for the that Khazar minaret, and it's one of the small museum. But you know, in religious team, just places who do the religion tours, they are doing that step by step and visiting that all of the museums and the places to pray.
And it's surprising this small monument is dated back to 9th century, which is quite old.
Yes, it's one of the oldest museums which saved.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the city, you know, the life within the city. I see a lot of activities for people who look for fun and leisure activities. There is a huge area for bowling and pool tables. And along with that, we also would like to know about the local markets. Are they same like Almaty city, or is this something different about the markets of Shymkent?
Market is Shymkent, it's a bit different. I think it will be more closer to that Tashkent style. And market is very rich for that dry food and the local Kazakh traditional items, homemade items.
Okay, okay.
And the city is really big. You know, the population is more than 1 million, and many activities for the locals. Most popular thing in Shymkent is the swimming pools. You will find maybe thousands of the swimming pools like aqua parks, because of it's our southern city in Kazakhstan and most hot place.
So what you're suggesting is, in summers, people should go to Shymkent if they are going to Almaty city. I mean, for a night or two, they must plan their trip to Shymkent city.
Yes, by the flight, it's only 50 minutes. Even just, you can go for the 1 day or 2 day tours.
Tell me about the shopping. What kind of shopping is available? Things to buy in Shymkent, what they can actually buy. I see a lot of souvenir shops in Shymkent city.
Yeah, actually, that Shymkent is one of that manufactured places in Kazakhstan. They have lots of that homemade factories. Like they are producing that leather items. You can find that very good stuff from the leather in Shymkent, and also the dry foods, which comes from the Uzbekistan, and they also own producing. That items are very popular.
That's great.
And
now
one thing, just you can also go for that beer factory in Shymkent. It's one of the most place for the locals as well, because of just you go there and you will try the fresh beer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's
I mean,
one of them.
People, I think we've been doing wine factory tours in near Almaty city. I think beer factory tour can be a real catch for people who would like to explore something new.
Yes, definitely. Their beer is very famous actually in Kazakhstan.
Wow. So talking about beer, let's talk about the places to eat in Shymkent. And I see a lot of modern places, a lot of stylish restaurants. Tell me about these places. Do we have all cuisines, all kind of cuisines available? And what about the most important thing, which is Indian food? What do we do about the Indian food?
So with the Indian food, before there was Indian restaurant in Shymkent, but this time it's closed. Maybe after some time they will open again. And exactly for the Indian foods, there is one option also. Like if you go to the Rixas Khadisha hotel and go to their Kazakh Asia restaurant, you will find that one chef from India. One Indian chef is working.
So you're saying Rixas Hotel and Kazakh Asia restaurant is the one where they have an Indian chef always available for Indian customers.
Yes, by the request, he can also arrange some Indian food.
How about, let's say, if we have a big group, Arkibulan, you know, we have a group of corporate, because I'm sure our agents must have this question in their mind. If there is a group of agents, a group of corporates, and they are going to Almaty for about 50, 60 people, they are going to Almaty, and they want to club Shymkent. How do we manage food for them? Is it easy to bring our own chef from Almaty and he can cook in some place, and we can mix a bit of local food with the Indian food, and people can have a different taste altogether?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's depend on their request. If they are good with the Turkish, Georgian, and local food, we can easily arrange that all of the veg and non-veg items in Shymkent. So, from Almaty, of course, we can arrange because of our chefs in Almaty. They have all of the work permissions. Even they have a green card of the Kazakhstan, and they can move easily in to Shymkent if there will be like a catering for the 50, 60 packs. About the restaurants, we have almost experience with some of the restaurants where we took for rent that they hold for the 1 week, 10 days, like that. And the same way we can arrange this.
That is great. That is great. So what you're saying is that if our travelers, if our partners are planning a big group movement to Shymkent, we're not going to face any issues with Indian food at all. Of course, we can club local food as well. Any kind of cuisine, be it continental, Italian, Mexican, Turkish, Arabic, is easily available in Shymkent city.
Yeah, it's a big city, and quality of the food is really good because of all of the items are organic and products available.
Now, give us an idea about the entertainment for people who would like to move around in the evening. How are the clubs? How are the nightclubs? Are they okay with Indians when they enter to clubs? What kind of behavior they have, and what kind of I want to know about the crowd and the vibe of people in the night.
Mm-hmm. So night entertainment, it's also good in Shymkent. It's a big city, more than 1 million, and not only Indian tourists, lots of tourists also comes to the Shymkent because it's one of the stop in their journey to the Turkestan, main stop, I can say. And before Turkestan, of course, they are going to the nightclubs and taking experience of that clubs. In Shymkent, like Mosque 20 Club, which is the most famous in Shymkent, it's available. In the entrance, they have that all of the cameras, security guards, and owners of that clubs are very friendly to the tourists. And
I see one name mentioned here as Karwan. Is it a very famous club in Shymkent, Karwan?
Karwan, yes, it's also one of the famous clubs, and many that foreign tourists goes to that club.
Great, great. Now you mentioned something about Turkestan, and this place happened to be a part of our itinerary as well, because if you're visiting Shymkent, this is one historical place which has been recommended by everyone to visit. Now, I want to know how you can connect from Shymkent to Turkestan. If you can give us an idea about the connectivity and any challenges if we face while you're connecting from Shymkent to Turkestan.
No, actually, there is no any challenge. If you know, from the last year, Turkestan became that state center, that state capital of that South Kazakhstan. And this year, they are going to finish the airport. And maybe in some time, even from Almaty to Turkestan, that flight will be happening. If somebody will interesting exactly of the Turkestan. And from Shymkent, it's only 150 kilometers. Of course, by that high-speed road. And the most interesting thing, you should not go directly to the Turkestan. On the way, there will be 5 things, that major attractions, major museums, like that Arslanbab Museum, like that Akmeshet Cave, White Cave, It's located on the way to the Turkestan, and like in suppose on the way to the Turkestan, you can cover like 2 places. On the return way, you can cover another 2 places, and all of that places are must to see places.
I see some interesting facts about Turkestan mentioned over here. It says that one of the Central Asia's largest universities is in Turkestan. There are 13 plant industries in Turkestan. One of them, this is very interesting facts. Turkestan is also popularly known as second Mecca of the East.
Yes, it's really like that. Not
So
even not all.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, not only for the locals, for the foreign peoples also, it's very famous for the religion tours.
Now we're going to talk about the important sightseeing here. About the first one being the mausoleum of Khoja Ahmed Yasavi.
Yes. So Khoja Ahmed Yasavi, let's talk on that name. He was the guy who started to promote that the religion Sufism, which is right now very very popular in Iran and Turkey. It's part of the Islamic religion, and that guy he from the 63 he decided to live under the earth. He built a special house under the earth. Still it's safe, and you can also see that. And he told Muhammad he lived till 63, and I cannot live in the land more than him. And another 10 years he lived in that cave. And that mausoleum, which was built in 13th century by Amir Timur. You know that Amir Timur, he killed that many that people, and it was one of also his action to pray him to the Ahmed Yasavi, to praise the God, and he built especially for that mausoleum. And after the finishing,
we are aware about Amir Temur. Amir Temur, I think, is one of the very important person from Uzbekistan, and he was also the great grandfather of Babur, the former Mughal emperor who invaded India long back. If you talk about the history of India, so this is how we are also connected. And it happened to, I happened to read one of the article about this monument, and that article informed me that this place is worshipped, equivalent to Mecca. They say if you visit this place 3 times, that is just like visiting Mecca at one time.
Yes, actually, it's one of the story, and many people believe for that. From Almaty, from Astana, every year from April to September, people goes to that area for the religion tours. They have the special the religion guide who shows that what to do, how to do, which places that they will see, etc. There are many places like that. Akmishet cave. One night they have to stay at that cave inside. There will be Arslan
cave. Okay, we go. Wait, I'm gonna read one by one. So we talk about this thing first. Sauran.
So Sauran. So if you just drive for 40 kilometers more to the another side than Shymkent, you will reach that city, Sauran. It's a saved city. Okay. It was the people. It was that that city till 18th century, but after that finishing of the resources, that people decided to move from that city. And this time you will find that in ancient times, that walls, that castle, and
I
like
see. It looks
they
more
are.
like a fortress. It looks like the ruins of a fortress built on the mountains.
Yes, it's like a fort, small fort with their houses and etc.
Now, this is interesting. This is an underground mosque, which is very rare. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, as I said, that underground mosque where Hoca Ahmet Yasavi is lived with his another 10 years. And in that mosque, actually, he was also started that his learning about the Sufism, and his children's and his another persons are spreaded that Sufism religion in all over the world. That's why that this area is very famous by the Turkish people, by Iran people. Every year they come to that area to pray him.
We also have a Friday mosque as well. As the name says, should be for Friday worship.
Yes, that's a modern mosque. It was to do the namaz, but after some time there was like lots of crowd every time, and it was a huge lots of people inside, and they decided to do the and do namaz in that modern mosque. It just opposite to the museum.
There's as well.
Hello?
It seems like a place where the artifacts and some display of history is placed. We want to talk about what you can eat in Turkestan. Is it almost like similar to Shymkent or something different?
So things to eat in Turkestan. In Turkestan, as I said you, because of the Turkish tourists, the Turkish food is very popular in Turkestan, and you'll also find that like mostly that Turkish food and Kazakh food in Turkestan. And the one thing like about that Hoca Ahmet Yasavi Museum, when you go to that area, it's not only that one museum. In that area, exactly 13 historical items are located in that square, like old steam bath, which was built in. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. For the granddaughter of the Amir Timur, you will also find the museum. It's also located just opposite to Ahmet Yasavi Museum. And all of all of that sightseeing places is reachable by walk. Like you will spend the full day with covering, with exploring, and looking to that architectural items.
Tell us about the dish which you see on the screen. It says samsa, but it looks very similar in India. It's called samosa. Is it on the similar terms?
Yeah, just as you know that Babur, when he shifted to that India part, he also spread some like Arabic word in India. And samosa, it's actually it's the same thing like samsa. Samosa and samsa, but our samsa is only with meat. You can eat only with chicken meat or by horse meat.
Horse meat, okay. Now, we've talked about both Turkestan and Shymkent. We'd like to know about the weather conditions in Turkestan and Shymkent city, both the cities, because they're quite near to each other. What do you think is the
Yeah.
best time period, and what are the weather conditions? Highest weather in summers or the lowest weather in winters?
So you should visit that places twice because of when you go at summer, you will enjoy with the pool party, with summer activities, and in summer maximum it can be like a plus 40-degree in summertime. And
Okay.
winter in South Kazakhstan, it's very comfortable. Maximum when we see that it goes to the -10 when
-10. Okay.
yes, when it's very cold.
That's a great
So
information. Yeah.
yeah, and that March, April, and September, October, it's the most comfortable times to go to that places. Like if you want to feel that free walking and to explore that all of that mountains and etc. And most safe time.
Great. I'm going to touch one more important topic connected to Shymkent, which is connecting Shymkent to Tashkent, which is very important to know because you're very close to a country which is again one of the most popular CIS countries, and especially the Indian market where people started knowing CIS sector by Uzbekistan, Tashkent. And of course, we have a great history attached to Tashkent as well. I see it's very close to each other, Shymkent and Tashkent. Of course, when you enter Uzbekistan, a new border, then you have to look after the visa formalities. But somebody who's looking to cross border trip, this is the best, good opportunity to make a combo trip. Only 130 kilometers. Arkibullah, can you tell me the journey and what are the challenges you face when you cross the border by land?
So from the last year, the visa policy is more comfortable for the foreign tourists, and there was also words about to do the combined visa for the Central Asia countries, the Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. If you will get that visa at the same cost, that it will be great experience for the tourists to cover all of the Central Asia countries at the same time by the road without any challenge. But this time, just you have to get the 2 visas. Both of the visas are online, and it's available just before 10 days. And by the if you just cross the border by the car with the Tashkent, it can just take more time, like maybe 2 hours. But for that working tourist, it will take maximum 30 minutes. There is no challenge by crossing that border, and they have there is not only one border. They have like a 10-15 official borders. Just you can choose that which one is comfortable for you and cross by this side. Because of, if you know, in Uzbekistan it's not only Tashkent. If you want to go to the Samarkand or to other place, you can also cross by another side.
So, do we normally provide a guide from Shymkent if somebody is new and somebody has a language problem and they want some guide to be escorted to escort themselves from Shymkent, Tashkent? Do you think we can do that?
Actually, we already have experience of the road trip. Like we took people from the Chinese border, and we was traveling with them till Russian border, and we showed that all of the places and in Kazakhstan. About the language issue, there is some problems because of not all of the people speaks in English, but our guides will manage and help them with all of that.
That's a great information, Arkibullah. I'm sure our tourists would understand that it's not just Almaty which Kazakhstan offers. Kazakhstan offers us a huge lot of buffet of different variety of destination Turkestan, which provides you great history and culture. Shymkent is uh, it's a combo meal. We call them a thali in India. A thali which has everything. Thali which has sweet dish. You have pickles, chapati, and every sort of dish which you're looking for. So this is what Shymkent is all about. Is going to pacify every craving of your travel. You can get everything in Shymkent. I think that's all for today, Arkibulan. It was a wonderful chat with you, and you have actually shared this entire information in a really precise and to the point manner. We thank you so much for joining in today, and to all our partners who have joined us today. I would like to thank them from the bottom of my heart. And during this pandemic situation, I'm just suggesting them to stay home, stay connected as much as you can. This is the only reason we are organizing these training sessions, so all of our partners can be connected at one time. And we also have another area where our agents connect with us. We agent connect portal. The purpose of this portal is to bring our agents together and solve their problem of knowing departures, knowing updated information about a destination at one time. Now, Agent Connect is the area where they can just log in and they can get all our updated departures. They can get the current prices. They can get to know the current itineraries. If there is any change in our inventory, they can also get to know about it on Agent Connect. This is how you connect. There is just a simple login page. All you need to do is just register, and it's free. There are no charges for that. And I wish you all good luck. Hope everything recovers soon, and we should all be seeing ourselves in offices soon, in spite of just talking through homes. And thank you once again, Arkibulan. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Dook team.
How is the coronavirus situation in Kazakhstan right now?
So right now, if you know, Kazakhstan is the first country who used that lockdown in Kazakhstan, in all of the world, and situation is in the control. About 3-4% only growing daily, and you know that right now we are safe actually, because of that government is controlling that whole situation, and they're paying that salary also to all of them, to all of the people.
Well, we hope the situation should stay in control, and we hope that it should stay in control in India as well. Thank you so much, our partners. Thank you so much for joining in today. I see you tomorrow exactly at the same time, 3 p.m. and we talk about another important topic. Let's connect tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.